Do you struggle understanding what the term minimum order quantity means and how it relates to your business as an online apparel brand? What quantity do I need to order? The last thing that I want to do is, number one, is potentially compromise on the quality of the product because I'm working with a supplier that's offering a very low minimum order quantity. And at the same time, I don't want to find myself with a ton of inventory that I cannot sell. So what is the right MOQ that you should be aiming for as a startup brand? You might ask yourself, and you might say, Shadi, the right MOQ is the lowest MOQ that I can go for. And though that might make sense in your mind financially, the idea here is that at every level of minimum order quantity, you have advantages and disadvantages. Take it from me, I've made every mistake in the book. I've worked with tens and tens of different suppliers with different levels of minimum order quantities, and with each level going from 0 all the way to 1,000 plus, I've noticed advantages and disadvantages. So take my experience and use it so that you don't have to make the same mistakes that I've done. Number one, we'll understand the 0 minimum order quantity. And you might say, Shadi, this is the ideal minimum order. I order one at a time and I sell as I need to go. This is great, but you have a limited pool of suppliers that are, number one, reliable, and also two, that can actually make the product for you. Typically, in my experience, a supplier that is offering a 0 minimum order quantity tends to be a white label supplier. This is going to be a supplier that has a pre-made catalog of products that you can select from, and you can essentially put your own logo and your own branding on. The advantage here is that it's a minimal investment. You pick the product that makes sense for you, you find a supplier that you have a good relationship with, and you put your logo on the products that you find suitable from their catalog. If you're going into this level of minimum order quantity, my best recommendation is find a supplier that has a catalog that you actually see as being unique, and also find a supplier that is willing to work with you also on some form of modifications for these products. Most times you'll find that suppliers are not willing to do so, so this is something that you must take with a grain of salt. Number two is the minimum order that ranges between 10 to 50. In my experience, I found that typically North American suppliers and European suppliers usually might offer minimum order quantities around this range. This is great. You're getting to work with a local supplier. Most likely you're either from Europe or you're from the US, and you typically get an American-made product and you get it at a super low quantity. These are all great, but there's a major drawback: the pricing here. Suppliers that are able to offer that minimum order quantity typically will charge a premium for it. This puts you in a difficult position because yes, you have access to probably faster lead times, because if you're in the US, well, you're dealing with a US supplier, they're in the same time zone as you, most likely they speak the same language as you, they make it very easy for you, but it makes it very difficult if you're operating a mass market brand to make a profit or to turn a profit, because you just simply won't have the margins necessary. My best recommendation, if you're going for European or US manufacturers, make sure that your product is a premiumly priced product. Typically, you want to be somewhere around the range of $150 to $200 for a pair of leggings. That's excessive. But if you have the brand identity, the brand equity to back that up, then it might make sense. Also, you might want to go for products that have very, very strong USPs. Maybe you go for a specific legging that is made specifically for people that are in their maternity, they're pregnant, and they require a specific type of fit and maybe a unique functionality, and they're willing to pay a premium for it because this is a problem that they have to face that only you can solve. At that point, premium pricing makes sense. Number three is the 100 minimum order quantity. And maybe if you're starting off, this might seem like a tremendous amount of pieces to order at any given moment. The good news here is that now you have access to Eastern Asian manufacturing, which means you get economies of scale, you get better pricing, you get products at a price that you can actually make a profit on. Typically, manufacturers that offer a 100 minimum order quantity will allow you to do OEM product, which means that you can custom make the product, you can tailor the color, you can tailor the branding, you can tailor the printing, you can pretty much make this product your own. But you can't go fully customized. You're typically going to be limited in terms of what fabrics and what colors you have available to you. Sure, you're going to have a much wider selection than when you're going with the ODM or the white label option. The larger your order, the better service that you're going to get. You're going to be adding more revenue to that supplier. The smaller the order, either they're going to have to jack up that price or the service is going to take a hit. You're sort of in that middle spot where you don't get the best service, you may not get the best quality, and you don't get the best ability to tailor and customize the product. But if you're just getting into custom products, this is a great opportunity for you to do so. The fourth minimum order quantity is between 250 and 350. In my opinion, this is the best spot to be in because you get that perfect balance. At 250 to 350, you now have access to premium suppliers. The overall quantity that you're purchasing now means that you can access and tap into professional suppliers, suppliers that have pull with their own suppliers, suppliers that also work with top tier brands. These are all big positives that allow you to take pride and to be very confident in the final product. You also get full variety over what you want to make. There's no limitation on colors, there's no limitation on fabrics, there's minimal limitations on your packaging because you have a larger quantity. Last level is between 800 and 1000 plus. Products purchased typically benefit from around 30 to 40% in price reduction and price savings from a 350 minimum order quantity. You're able to offer a premium product and you're able to offer it at a great price. At 1000 plus, you're now in the big leagues. You're able to customize your product as you want. You're able to emphasize your own quality control. The disadvantage here is that it is a major investment. You need to know what sizes you're ordering. You need to know what colors you're ordering because any mistake can lead to a financial drain. It's not simply like, oh, I'm losing 100 pieces or I'm losing 200 pieces. You may be losing thousands of pieces if you're making the wrong decisions. But if you make the right decisions, the right design, if you select the right fabric and you have the right marketing, you have all of these units that have the potential to generate profits for you. If you're just starting off and you want to go local, but you want to go premium, then maybe go for a local supplier. You're going to be paying more, but you now have the opportunity to test the market and then maybe to take it overseas once you've built up that consumer base. If you guys are still wondering, what is the right minimum order quantity for me? I offer one-on-one consultation calls every single week. Slots are limited, so definitely feel free to check it out. And if you want to speak, I'll be more than happy to do so. Also, let me know which MOQ works best for you in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, please consider smashing a massive thumbs up. It really does help us out. It keeps us motivated to keep pumping out this content. I say this from the very bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Fittdesign TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.